So I remember when I was a kid, they used to say, absence makes the heart grow fonder. Then my grandpa said, absence makes the heart grow fonder or wander. And it hit me that in the Christian life, where there's no tangible, living attentiveness to the presence of God, we quickly wander away. It's the presence of the Lord that keeps us. And I was looking at Matthew when Jesus calls a couple of the disciples, and it hit me that when he looks at them in actually chapter 4 verse 19, it says that Jesus was walking by the sea. He saw two brothers, Simon, who was called Peter, and Andrew his brother, casting a net into the sea, for they were fishermen. And he said to them, follow me, and I'll make you fishers of men. Immediately they left their nets and followed him. Then a little bit further down, it says that he called out to them, talking about James, the son of Zebedee, and his brother. He called out to them, and it says immediately they left their boat and followed him. There was something about the presence and voice of the person of the Lord that caused them to leave everything else behind, their entire lives and livelihood. They responded to the presence and voice of the Lord by completely abandoning what they knew. And it just hit me, this is what the presence of God does. Not only does it keep you from wandering, but it causes you to separate yourself from everything else just to be with him. They followed him, staying with him, cutting off everything else behind you and remaining with him. They saw his presence so valuable that they left everything else behind to simply remain with him. Remember when the two disciples come to Jesus and they say, he turns around and he looks at them and he says, what are you looking for? What is it that you want? He goes right to the heart of the matter. And they say to him, where do you live? They wanted to stay with him. This is what the presence does. It causes you to cling to the Lord. David said, my soul thirsts for you. Then he says, my soul is satisfied with you. Then he says, my soul clings to you. The presence of God satisfies the soul so deeply that it clings to him, saying, I want to remain with you forever. And then in Galatians, we see that Paul has a similar experience where he says that when it pleased God to reveal his son in me, ... I went away to Arabia. He responded to the revelation of the person of Jesus with going into solitude. He went away from everything. He left everything he knew to go to a solitary place with God. Obviously, the Lord revealed himself to him, and the intent was for him to proclaim him, but it was the revealing of himself to him that caused him to go away with him so that he could come to know him and proclaim him. I think a lot of times the problem is people are proclaiming him without having seen him. The distinguishing mark being those that are drawn to go away with him, to just enter that secret, hidden, quiet, solitary place to enjoy and experience deeply the person of the Lord. I'm heading now to the venue here in Calhoun, and I know that the Lord is going to meet us in a deep way. I can feel, even this morning, the Lord is going to strip away doubt and fear and all kinds of little things that are clouding the vision of his person, so that they can come alive by perception of the Lord and live now in the perception of the Lord.